Well, welcome back, everybody, to Venture 135, and what I think is my favorite part of the day, which is demo day for Class 13 of RevTech Labs and QC FinTech and QC InsurTech. And we're thrilled that you could all be here back with us for this part today. And all of these founders will be presenting live as well, so we'll get the excitement of the live presentations. But welcome for Class 13. Let me just talk a little bit of the setup this, and then I'm going to introduce Caitlin Carpenter in just a moment, who's our program manager. But I wanted to talk about our team at RevTech Labs, who's really helped to make this all happen. It's a fantastic team of people that I get the privilege of working with every day. And like anything that's done right, whether it's the accelerator or the venture conference, there are just a whole bunch of unsung heroes behind the scenes that make stuff happen. And I won't read off everyone's name on there, but just a big shout out and thank you to the whole RevTech Labs team, not only for the conference, but for making the accelerator happen in a virtual environment with all the craziness that's going on and still adding great value to our founders and to our sponsors and mentors. So that's been fantastic. Next, I want to talk a little bit about RevTech Labs and the overview. We touched on this morning, but just to kind of set the stage for this, for those of you who may not be familiar, we want to continue to emphasize it to make sure people understand what RevTech Labs is and how we operate. Three main segments of what we do, from incubation in the early stage to acceleration, which is what you're going to see tonight, and then scaleration, that growth phase that we talked about, both in domestic and the international landing pad program. 5 major verticals that we play in, as you can see there, and also 2 major conferences. This is obviously one of them, Venture 135, that's going on right now, but also FinTech Generations, which happens every June, which is one of the nation's leading FinTech and InsurTech thought leadership events. And we're thrilled to be able to have that conference happen as part of our programming, what we do as well, as long as you see kind of a comprehensive toolbox of innovative proprietary tools just for RevTech Labs that we think add a lot of value to not only the founders in the ecosystem, but our partners as well. So I'm going to turn it over now to Caitlin Carpenter, who's our program manager and makes everything happen here. And she and I are going to walk through a little bit of the setup of this before we get into the exciting RevTech Labs demo day for tonight. So Caitlin, please take it away.
Thanks, Dan. Yes, as you guys can see, we have a lovely overview of RevTech Labs. We cover basically the entire entrepreneurial journey. So if you are interested in working with us, don't worry, we most likely have a program for you. We start all the way from the early stage founders, which we consider incubation. So we do our fellowship at Packard Place. And then we also have our accelerator programs, which are RevTech Labs Health Tech, RevTech Labs InsurTech. And you might have heard this before, Queen City FinTech. So this is for companies that are post-launch, post-seed, and post-revenue. And then we also, as Dan mentioned before, we have our scaleration programs, which we really like the pun of accelerator and scale. So this is focusing on scaling companies. We have a domestic program called the Scalerator. And then we also have our international company for companies that are looking for access to the US marketplace. And then here's like a little overview of what types of companies we look for, what our applicant numbers look like, the geography, the stage. As you can tell, we cast a pretty wide net. We look for companies that are both interesting to us, to our partners, and to our LPs. And here's a great example of how scrappy our team really is, because as you can see, we actually have a very similar impact as the New York FinTech Labs, with 1/100th of the funding. So this is a great example of showing that it's not about how much money is given, but where the money is given and what is done with it. And we're really excited that we were nominated for the FinTech Innovation Labs Awards.
And let's talk a little bit then about the impact. And thank you, Caitlin, for that. I think the Finovate Award and being nominated as a semifinalist for one of the top FinTech accelerators in the world was a real feather in our cap, and just a great shout out to the RevTech Labs team for all the hard work. I think that recognition is great to see. For all the mentors who put their time into it and sponsors, it's great to see that kind of recognition on a global scale for the program that we run here out of Charlotte. So I think it's just fantastic to see. Talking a little bit more about impact and reach, RevTech Labs is part of the Global Accelerator Network. Top 170 independent accelerator programs around the world, which gives us huge global reach. 225 different VC partnerships, over 100 alumni now in 35 states, 13 countries. You see a couple $100 million in market valuation as well. One of the stats that I mentioned earlier today that I want to hit on again that we're extremely proud of is over the 13 classes, over half of our founding teams have a female founder or founder of color on the founding team. And we said in the panel presentation, if you saw that earlier, that diversity in founders doesn't come at the expense of fantastic founders, fantastic programs. As a matter of fact, I would argue it comes because of that and that diversity and that inclusion. And we've been very purposeful in our outreach. We reach out to thousands, almost 10,000 fintech startups around the globe every single year for the last 7 years now. That scouting and the turning over rocks is what makes it, gives us the ability to find great companies from across the globe and have that diversity that we want as well. One of the things I wanted to mention next is our underrepresented founder program that we're launching in 2021. Despite the great statistics and the kind of the pride we feel in what we've done to date, we think we can do more. And so we're going to be launching a program that focuses specifically on traditionally underrepresented founders at the earlier stage. And we're looking for sponsors and partners to help us with that. And the program structure will be a little bit different, where they have the opportunity to get a non-dilutive grant, but the sponsoring company will be much more involved in strategically selecting the company based on their interests and their ability to then rally their company around mentoring and being involved with a broad pool of associates from their company. A lot of our partners have been asking for how they can get more engaged with a specific company. And we think this will be a fantastic program that will allow us to pull in even more traditionally underrepresented founders, allow us to get more engagement from our sponsors and partners, and be beneficial for the entire ecosystem. And so we'll be reaching out to you if you happen to be one of our partner companies, or if you're listening to this, you're not already a partner or sponsor. We'd love to talk to you about this program and helping us bring this program to life, because we think it's critically important to our venture ecosystem and what's happening out there. So the next thing I want to talk about, the two programs we have on growth. As Caitlin mentioned earlier, that idea that we not only do acceleration and incubation, but we do growth. And we coined that term scaleration. Another shout out to Nat Clarkson, my business partner, who coined that one for us. So it's alliterative with acceleration. But the idea of companies going into that growth phase have a completely different set of needs, or a largely different set of needs than companies in acceleration. So the ability for them to get focused help on sales, connections to potential partners is really where we're driving our program in 2021, later stage, growth stage. And that plays really well into the international landing pad as well. As you all probably heard earlier today, we mentioned for the next 3 days, when we see in 3 verticals, we'll have an international component that almost acts as a front door into that international landing pad program, the same way the Series A companies presenting this week act kind of as a front door into that Scalerator program. And we think we can continue to create differentiation for our partners and sponsors, value for the companies, and go to where the puck is going to be, not where the puck is in terms of scalation and acceleration. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Caitlin, who's going to talk about what you're all here to hear about, which is Class 13 of RevTech Labs.
Thanks so much, Dan. I'm really excited to share with you guys our Class 13 founders. I can't say that I've met a more passionate group of founders, and that's really what makes the magic happen. So up next, I will be introducing Dana Enger from State Farm. She's actually the scouting manager at State Farm. She's amazing. She's actually, she does fintech and insurtech. She's seen it all, she's heard it all, and she's just a great partner to have. So if you are a fintech or insurtech company in the audience listening, feel free to reach out to Dana. I'll go ahead and turn things over to Dana. So Dana, if you want to come to the stage, I'll turn things over to you.
Thank you, Caitlin. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce founder and CEO of Cher, the first company who will be presenting to you today. The founder and CEO is Eric Shabil. Eric is a perfect example of a founder who has relentless and disciplined focus on the problem that he is solving. When I initially met the Cher team, I was immediately intrigued by the pain point they're addressing and was impressed by their forward-looking and innovative solution, which is creating a marketplace that makes home ownership more attainable for younger adults, unrelated co-buyers, and others. I have truly enjoyed serving on the advisory board with Eric and his team. These are exciting times in real estate, certainly exciting times for Cher. So please join me in giving a huge, energetic, virtual round of applause for founder and CEO Eric Shabil.
Thank you so much, Dana, for that warm introduction.
Oh my God.
As Dana said, my name is Eric Shabil. I'm the CEO and founder of Cher. Cher is the first marketplace allowing everyone to more easily buy and share fractional ownership while providing a streamlined pipeline of prospects to realtors. So we want to know, do people actually co-own homes today? They absolutely do. In fact, 22% of all home loans that were originated last year were with multiple non-related buyers, friends buying homes together. Between LA, San Francisco, New York City, and Seattle alone, you're looking at 650,000 co-owned homes, which represents on average in the US, you're looking at $330 billion industry that actually increases 1% per year as homeownership becomes more unaffordable. And talking about, well, who would actually want to home own and share this home ownership? Our target are millennials. Millennials want to own a home. In fact, 9 out of 10 state they want to, but only 4.4% actually plan to do so because of affordability. So we know that people are co-owning homes. Right now, these are more so investors who are co-owning secondary homes. And how are they doing it today? Well, first they have to form an LLC. They ask questions like, how to share home ownership? There's no market to sell partial equity. Should we form a TIC or LLC? And which lender do we use? What homes do we like? And then of course, who do we want to share those homes with? For realtors, question comes down to, well, we want to earn more commission, but right now we're door knocking. And if we do represent those multiple buyers co-owning a home, that could cause more delays in escrow. Bidding wars, right now it's total seller's market, making it very difficult to actually afford a home. And then buying unqualified leads, for instance, from Zillow, and then really getting your clients into affordable housing. So how can they do that? And that's really with Cher, and we provide that solution by giving you a marketplace to buy and sell fractional ownership easily. It creates an opportunity to co-own any home. What's great is that investment properties can actually be designated as a primary for when you do use our platform and receive a tax and tax benefits. Home ownership is actually possible now with 2 up to 5 people sharing those costs. For lenders, it's awesome because we can actually create an opportunity to reduce foreclosures by adding co-owners to the existing note. What's nice is that these homes that are co-owned can actually be in desirable areas, thus yielding more appreciation. Realtors can multiply commission, and as a company, we provide you an ongoing servicing opportunity to really help you continue to co-own, whether that be primary, secondary, or an investment property. Our streamlined co-owning model for realtors provides you high quality leads right to your inbox. You can meet new co-buyers or refer your current clients to use our processes that's patented. Become their agent. We actually pre-approve your client and track your escrow as a group in-app. So looking at some of our personas for marketing, you'll see on the far left, stop wasting money paying for your rent for children. Help your college kids buy their first home at Cher. And thinking owning a home is out of reach, you may be surprised by teaming up with one of your friends or loved ones, you can actually get more bang for your buck. Showing a few strategic partnerships that have already been executed, including Quicken Loans, United Wholesale Mortgage, and Equifax. Our competitive advantage is that we are first to market, so no one is providing this marketplace to be able to more easily co-own homes. We have over 150 brandable domains. We're also a licensed real estate and mortgage brokerage company. We have over 40 years of industry experience, which also includes a patent that protects 20 of our co-owning processes. Cher the name as a registered trademark, and we also have an in-house software development team, making us very agile. Our competitive advantage is that we are the only company that provides that home sharing network while also really easily being able to sell your partial equity. Our 5-year projection is really shown by closing those referral fees. So we take 25% of the buyer's agent's gross commission at the close of escrow. So when you're looking at an average home price of $700,000, we generate on average $4,500 from that sale. We also have Cher's Click, which is a monthly premier service that realtors can opt into, and they're able to actually get high quality leads right to their inbox. Our future revenue sources include buying distressed fractional ownership rights like Instant Buyer Program, which we will be doing in our Series A, processing fees, as well as assisting sellers for their sale with that fractional ownership. Our shares click to demonstrate what we're doing right now with our MRR is we provide those 5 message credits to target prospects for those realtors. They're marketed as a preferred agent to those co-buyers, and you can actually chat live in-app with these new buyers. What we've done to date is we've raised $480,000, one from Mucker Venture Capital in $190,000, myself as founder in $95,000, and friends and family another $155,000, which has been raised as a safe in a 4.1 M cap. Our most recent investment was from Queen City FinTech as well. What we've done with that is we've now developed our product fully beta. It's now we have generating revenue now. Burn rate is 19K with over 61,000 buyer accounts created. Now we're converting our 10,000 realtors in California from shares click to actually subscribing and paying for that premier service. We've been featured on CBS, elected Silicon Valley Open Door 2019 finalist. I was actually speaking at the National Association of Realtors at their Investment Opportunity and Innovation Summit last year, one of 14 companies, and we've generated $138,000 revenue to date. We're here to raise $250,000 that's remaining. We've raised additional capital from our investors and from myself. What we're going to be doing with that is targeting marketing and sales. We've got the tech built. We're getting home buyers and realtors signed up, but we need more assistance with capital to get those sales and get that marketing and get that brand recognition. Share team is composed of myself as CEO and founder, Paul Horr is our COO, he was Senior VP of B of A, Hector Bustillo is our CTO. Linnea is actually just new to the team. She's a realtor, an insurance broker, and was part of Morgan Stanley and State Farm as well. And then here's a little snapshot of our software development team, as well as our IP counsel and general counsel. So in conclusion, right now people want to own homes, but they can't because it takes them 14 years to be able to afford just the average home price. So you're looking at 52% of young adults right now are moving back home. That's just past the Great Depression era by 4%. So let's get these millennial homeowners into home ownership with shared home ownership using Cher. Thank you so much, and I look forward to answering any of your questions after the presentation.
Thanks so much, Eric. If any of you guys are looking to connect with Eric, feel free to do so on Umbrella by going to the Partners tab and searching for Cher. Or if you're interested in potentially partnering with him or investing, you can go to Crowdworks and check out his profile there. Up next, I'm really excited to introduce his next mentor, as he is super knowledgeable, super passionate, and has actually been described as a lifesaver by more than one startup. So let me introduce you guys to Kevin Odell, the Chief Technology Officer at Defiance Ventures. Kevin, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Caitlin. AI and ML is still really hard. Model creation, curation, and operationalization of those models involves a lot of moving parts. Gartner predicts 85% of AI projects will fail to deliver business value to CIOs. It's a staggering number given the popularity and business value that can be driven from AI projects. Interestingly enough, everyone in the audience uses AI in their day-to-day lives while shopping on Amazon, fighting with Siri, or finding new music on Spotify. These AI projects are so successful because they obfuscate the hard parts away from the end users. This successful AI mindset is what drew me to Isogriv. Nils and Travis just get it. They are focused on the use of practical AI bundled up in a no-code SaaS offering. While they have an impressively complex offering, Isogriv is relentlessly focused on driving value for the lines of businesses they pursue. They spend their time focused on toting business value for their end users and driving value day one for their clients. It is my pleasure to introduce Isogriv. Please stand and offer a virtual round of applause for the team.
Hi, everyone. Apologies for that. That's the one downside to having a virtual conference is that you do run into a few technical difficulties. We're actually going to move on to the next company, and we'll circle back with Isogriv here shortly. But with that in mind, I'd like to introduce you guys all to Matt McPhee, who's actually an LP at CFD Ventures. So you might say he knows a little bit about fintech companies. Matt, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Caitlin. Appreciate that. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here today. So as Caitlin mentioned, my name is Matt McPhee, and I've had the great pleasure over the last 12 weeks of being the chair of the Lenme Advisory Board. As you're about to hear, Lenme's taken a very novel approach to solving a lot of the problems that currently exist in today's microcredit markets. The microcredit is a segment of the overall broader credit markets designed to help people who need to borrow small amounts of money for a very short period of time to satisfy a very specific need. Unfortunately, a lot of borrowers in this space lack the credit history to access other types of capital. And for that reason, lenders typically have all of the leverage. That can tend to result in interest rates that are much, much higher than they should be. What Lenme has done is built a network of borrowers and both individual and commercial lenders that are looking for returns on capital. So for the lender, Lenme uses proprietary intelligence that is developed over time to reduce the credit risk associated with microloans and perform all of the back office functions associated with distributing capital, collections, and repayment reporting. For the borrower, Lenme has developed this platform so borrowers have multiple lenders bidding on each loan, thereby driving down the interest rates that borrowers have access to. But enough about that. What I'd like to do now is introduce Mark Maurice, founder of Lenme, so he can describe exactly how Lenme is driving the microcredit industry forward. Mark, take it away.
Thanks, Matt, for the introduction. As Matt mentioned, I'm Mark. I'm the founder and CEO of Lenme. And Lenme is a subscription-based peer-to-peer lending platform that focuses on small amount loan market. And if you think why small amount loan market, 138 million Americans, they struggle financially and in the need for a short-term cash. And you have seen during the COVID-19, it has been like a huge awareness about this segment and how they affect the economy. The average interest rate that's charged for this segment of borrowers is around 400% APR, which is very high interest rate compared to that. But not only that's not only the problem, but this borrower borrow at least 10 times per year. So they borrow $200, paid back the next month, and they stuck on that cycle forever. They never had a path for financial health. They never had a path for future as well to get them out of this problem. But we didn't look only on that side, but we looked also on the other side of the equation, which is lending business financial institution who wants to have an access to that kind of segment of borrower to solve the problem. We found that there is a high cost of operation associated with that. They don't have a full picture of the borrower risk profile due to unavailability of data, and they still use a traditional way to either evaluate borrower or collect payment. That's why we thought about Lenme. Lenme is a fully automated platform, has no human involvement in the lending process, that connect borrower directly with lender. Lender can be individual investors or financial institution lending business, along with data provider to provide the best solution for either borrower and lender as well. So as Matt said, the benefit for the borrower is that we provide a competitive interest rate. So now lenders is bidding on a better interest rate to the borrower on providing the better solution for the borrower based on the risk profile. Second, they receive a same-day fund. So basically, we manage the loan fund. We transfer the fund from the borrower account to the lender account, and the monthly installment directly from the borrower account to the lender account. For the lender, they actually have no acquisition cost. They only pay a subscription fee. All data in one place, automated collection, easy underwriting. So we made the underwriting easy as 3 clicks for each borrower. That's what the current traction. So basically, we have 200,000 registered users, $2.5 million originated so far, and we generate 12 cents for every dollar invested in our platform. None has been through the interest rate. We believe that we better serve our borrower and our lenders when we only focus on technology and we monetize from the subscription, either from the borrower or the lender, and monetize from the other services that we're going to provide through our platform. So far, we also originated 10,000 loans. So this is our business model. So we basically charge 99 cents per monthly subscription for the borrower, and gives him an opportunity for a pass for financial health as long as build loyalty with our platform. We also use the subscription data with our underwriting process to give a scoring model to our. They have a package starting from $84.99 monthly subscription tier based on the investment volume per month, and this is a fraction of the current cost of operation that they have right now, and this is give them the opportunity for easy access with a technological solution. We also sell our Lenme Predict, which is our machine learning algorithm as a standalone product for $49 a month, and all of that through an app, through Apple Pay and Google Pay, which is the latest payment solution. This is quickly is our lender platform through an app. So we show the full credit report of the borrower, loan history, and full insight into borrower's bank account, illustrated in a way that lender can easily read and write. This is our onboarding process. So in 3 clicks, you can request a loan and get verified. This is our enterprise solution, which shows and specially designed for financial institution lending business, which allow bulk deployment of loan and multiple user login as well. We also use our Lenme Predict, which is our machine learning algorithm, and we sell that as a standalone product. So Lenme Predict, we use 2,500 data points from aggregated data from the borrower bank account, credit bureau data, historical behavior data to predict the likelihood of the borrower to pay or default, and we show that to the lender as well. The current market is 141 billion. So we focus on short-term credit, single payment credit, which represents $62 billion market. This is our current partner. So we partner with TransUnion, Experian as a credit bureau partner, Douala as an ACH transfer, Fiserv and Udly as a data aggregation and instant account verification, and DebtTrader as well. This is our current team. So myself, I'm an entrepreneur and PhD candidate with a passion to solve the payday loan problem. John is our senior engineering lead with 10 years of design, and he's behind all the beauty of our app. And he has a 7 years experience with Lyft and Facebook. This is our current round. So we're trying to raise a $3 million round for our growth strategy. We previously raised $500,000, and we're going to use that fund to generate a new revenue generating project that will improve our revenue to 12 cents instead of 10 cents, 16 cents instead of 12 cents per dollar invested. We will use that fund also for the growth of our user base and loan volume, sales strategy to acquire more enterprise customers. Thank you so much. Please contact us and feel free to contact us anytime through Brella app or directly through my email. Thank you so much and have a good day.
Thanks so much, Mark. And just as Mark said, if you're interested in connecting with him, you can find him on Brella, going to the Partners tab, searching for Lenme, and then clicking there and you can schedule a meeting. Or if you're interested in checking out more about a company, you can always go to CrowdWorks. We're going to keep things rolling. We're going to go Sabius and then TRATO next, but just like any entrepreneurs, they know how to figure out problems very quickly. So we've gotten all the technical issues underway. With that in mind, I will go ahead and introduce our next mentor, who, if you are a fintech startup that you're looking to connect to regional banks and you're not sure where to start, I highly recommend connecting with Dave Hunkley, who is the president of Creative Labs Consulting. Dave, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Caitlin. Good afternoon, everyone. I have the pleasure of introducing our next founder, Jason Anthony of Sabius. Jason's a 20-year freelancer with a ton of experience in marketing, media, consulting, and business intelligence. He has a tremendous amount of energy. It's contagious, and his firsthand experience dealing with the challenges freelancers face. As a freelancer, you want the freedom to choose the work that you do. You want the freedom to set your own schedule, or maybe you want the freedom to make some extra money via a side hustle. But the IRS wants paid, and there's nothing worse than facing a big tax bill at the end of the year or trying to figure out how much tax you owe. Jason and Sabius is simplifying taxes for the growing number of freelancers in the US and putting that feeling of being free back into freelancing. So let's face it, the gig economy is here to stay, and more people are choosing freelance work as their primary source of income. and freelancers need Sabius. From Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, my hometown, here's Jason Anthony and Sabius.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate that intro. Hi, everybody. My name is Jason Anthony, and I am the founder and CEO of Sabius, the payroll in your pocket application for freelancers to put their tax obligations on autopilot. Our economy has changed. Before COVID, freelance and independent workers were quickly becoming the new majority in our nation, and now that's accelerating even faster. And the struggles that they're currently facing managing their tax obligations are very real, with roughly $100 billion going unpaid to the IRS each year. And freelance income is very unpredictable and sporadic, making it difficult to keep track of tax liabilities and budget properly. Failure to pay taxes or paying them incorrectly results in very frustrating and costly financial problems. Sabius makes it simple for freelancers and independent workers to automate their estimated tax obligations to the IRS, saving them time and money. We help the individual chip away at their tax obligations instead of making big lump sum quarterly payments, creating an experience that's more similar to a traditional W-2 worker. Freelancers can now seamlessly automate their tax payments without having to switch banks or change the way that they work. From a total addressable market perspective, there are 59 million freelancers who are contributing over $1 trillion to our economy each year, and those numbers are growing. With $100 billion in unpaid taxes and an average 3% penalty from the IRS, this represents a market opportunity of $3 billion annually. Now, typically when you hear the word freelancer, we imagine the stereotypical designers and developers, but there are also millions upon millions of other independent contractors, self-employed workers, and single-member LLCs that are out there making up the freelance landscape. Imagine for a moment your sales professionals and financial consultants, the real estate agent who sold you your home, contractors and laborers like your plumber, HVAC tech, electrician, and painter. Now that we have a greater understanding of what the freelance economy looks like, our team set out to fill the gap in this market. Our traction so far includes completion of our MVP and early beta testing with live users. We're rolling out our B2B pilot and our B2C consumer products in December 2020. We've sold our first pilot agreement with the CPA firm, and we have others that are ready to move into the contract phase. We've also struck up a partnership with the gig work platform that supports Latinx, Black, and female freelancers. Our business model focuses on channel distribution through B2B clients in the CPA and accounting industry. More specifically, seeking product market fit with CPAs and accountants solely working with freelancers, creatives, and independent workers, and the growing number of new platforms catering to contingent work opportunities. Our B2C marketing strategy consists of pinpointed digital outreach to specific segments of our target audience. In terms of our revenue model, our enterprise subscription fees vary based on the projected number of users. This solution enables CPA firms to deliver more tailored, scalable services to freelancers. And our direct-to-consumer fee is a flat monthly subscription, which is also a tax write-off for the user. The penalties alone for not paying estimated taxes range in the hundreds of dollars per year for the freelancer, in addition to still having to pay that actual owed amount. Our core team has strong domain expertise in banking, startup growth, and operations, with all three of us having felt the joy of what it's like to be a full-time freelancer, as well as the burden of juggling complex financial responsibilities that are associated with it. I personally have over 20 years experience as a freelancer and over a decade of professional sales and digital marketing experience as an independent contractor. Now, we do have competition in this space. However, our direct competitors are primarily focused on providing a separate savings account or a sub-account for holding the user's money. At the end of the day, the wherewithal and those funds are still required to be there. And our indirect competitors focus on bookkeeping services that only help to calculate estimated tax obligations. This still leaves this lingering problem for the individual. We're already starting to see the bigger, slower moving companies taking the acquisition approach to innovation. ADP acquiring WorkMarket is one example. And this signals to us that there's an opportunity for direct integration with these indirect competitors to set the stage early for grabbing market share and a potential acquisition. Now, I've been in the same shoes of our end users, and I have experienced the repeated struggle of trying to find a solution just like Sabius, only to fall short with the current offerings that are available. And this is the driving force behind why we are doing what we do today. In the near future, we're looking to expand into the larger commercial space with talent marketplaces and software integration, and service the banking sector that realizes a current gap in providing financial products to meet the needs of this workforce. To get there, we're looking to raise a seed round with the right strategic partners, using those funds to directly increase the size of our sales and business development team, solidify our development capabilities with engineering talent, and enhance our product efforts full time. Freedom in freelancing has finally arrived. If you'd like to talk further, please reach out to me directly to discuss a partnership opportunity today. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks so much, Jason. And just like before, if you're looking to connect with Jason, you can find him on Umbrella by going to the Partners tab and searching Sabius. Or if you're looking to find out more about the company in more detail, including their raise and potentially investing in them, you can go to Crowdworks. So next we're going to go TRATO, and then we didn't forget we also have Isogriv. Okay, and so we have Isogriv. So up next, I would like to introduce you guys to someone where if you've been in Charlotte for more than 5 minutes, you've probably met him. He was actually our outstanding mentor last class. Up next is Todd Bulow, who is a principal and co-founder at Julbu Partners. Todd, take it away.
Thanks, Caitlin. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate it. I have the honor of introducing you to one of the most outgoing people, I think, in this class. When we're looking for entrepreneurs, we're always looking for people that, A, have a great product, but 2, have a passion to sell and market their product. And with that, Ignacio Bermeo meets both of those objectives. One of the also interesting things that he's doing, and most interesting, is that he's solving the challenges on the contract negotiation. When I first heard his platform, it was something that I could have used as I was dealing with a lot of RFPs in my previous company. But with that, I'm really excited to introduce Ignacio Bermeo with TRATO, and off the show.
Thanks very much for the kind words, Todd. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm delighted to be here. My name is Ignacio. I'm corporate lawyer and programmer since I was 10. I'm also the CEO and founder of TRATO. TRATO is a software that simplifies contracts and negotiations so that companies can easily close deals with their clients. And to help me explain why our users log into TRATO every single day, I'd like to share with you a quote by Theodore Adorno. The task of art today is to bring chaos into order. Now, although we are not bringing out chaos with art like Pollock, we are bringing out chaos from the most important asset of any company, their contracts. And yes, as the image shows you, it is a nightmare. Heading into a legal agreement is a nightmare. How often has this happened to you? You have a contract to get signed by your client and you can't keep track of the red line. You don't know what change was made first. It goes back and forth. It takes extra time. Occasionally, you may lose a deal or new competition comes in because you weren't able to get the negotiation that fast enough. Has anybody experienced that kind of thing? Because if you have, there is a reason for that. No one is helping companies close faster deals. Let me explain. Drafting a contract is the first step of the process of closing a deal. And most lawyers still use general text processors such as Word, Google Docs. Yes, we offer a better solution, but let's say they're okay with the above. So let's put a check. Now, some companies collaborate with an automated workflow to get internal approvals. TRATO helps you with that as well as many other companies. So let's put another check there. Now, here comes the interesting part. Everyone thinks that the next stage is to sign a contract. And for that, we are pretty overwhelmed with options such as DocuSign, Adobe, but how did we get there so fast? Every day I hear a potential client say, I spend a lot of time on the negotiation, the signature is the easiest part. And then I ask why? Well, because companies still are sending contracts by email, messages. Wow, how is it possible? This is the 21st century. And if we bring COVID-19 to the picture, the lockdowns will make this problem each day more critical. There needs to be a better way. That is why we built TRATO. We completely reinvented negotiations for today, for a lockdown society. Now, the way we created TRATO was not by creating just a presentation or some kind of pitch. We heard our customers since 2017 when we started selling an innovative contract solution. Yes, we entered a crowded space, but the most interesting part is that no one was looking and still are not looking at the greatest pain of all, negotiations. Everyone is looking on how to organize contracts. I mean, why is that a problem? Our vision is to bring order out of the chaos of negotiation. All the negotiation happens in one same place. Everything is handled by a distributed ledger called blockchain. But most importantly, everything is easy and everything is more secure. No need for training. Now, we do not only see the opportunity of in the market, but we have experienced great growth since we already have a lot of traction. And again, if you bring COVID into the picture, it has only accentuated our growth. This year, we will report a growth to our current investors of more than 200% in revenue. And if we see our compound monthly growth on our premium version, it has increased 20%. We are clearly achieving something. And that has been done with a small team of 12. But we would like to move faster. That is why we are raising $2 million. And we are so serious about it, what we already have $1 million committed by our current investors. I mean, we have a great plan. We are growing globally by moving to the headquarters to the United States. Also, we are moving to the UK to put an office of representation. And yes, we're gonna take a great piece of the market. We have already closed interesting deals with law firms all over the world in order to involve them in this new type of negotiation. Our business model is simple. We are all about helping companies close deals. So they pay for futures, not for users, not for contracts. That is all I want to say today. Next time you enter into a negotiation, if you want to close faster, send a link of TRATO and move on to the next deal. Thanks for your attention.
Thanks so much, Ignacio. And just like everyone else, if you're interested in booking a meeting with Ignacio during the conference, you can do so on Umbrella by going to the Partners tab and searching for TRATO. Or if you're looking to have a longer conversation with him or find out more about his company, you can go to CrowdWorks. And next, Nils, I think we're going to go ahead and give you another try. So I'll turn it over to you to share your screen and go ahead.
Hi, so I'm Nils Tracy from Isogriv, and we're a no-code machine learning platform for enterprise users. Our team was spun off of a Warburg Pincus portfolio company in the investment space that leveraged a lot of machine learning, but never got the total value out of it. There, we've built a product that was generating 1.5 million in ARR in the first year. We launched this July after 3 years of R&D and building our core product, which is a scalable, no-code machine learning platform so that anybody can leverage the most advanced tools that machine learning has to offer. Our model is subscription based at around $40,000 to $50,000 per vertical. Our traction so far is we have a $10 million pipeline that we've brought over from our prior venture, and we're projecting between $1.5 and $2 million in ARR in our first year. We've got significant subscription commitments from both Nomura as well as several multi-billion-dollar hedge funds. And we also have over 1,000 reads per data point that we send out. So the way that our model works right now is that we are servicing both law firms and financial firms in the patent and merger space. So the problem that we're solving for is that we really live in a time where there's never been technology like what exists right now. And Kevin kind of spoke to that, but we really live at the precipice of a major change in technology. But people can't access those tools because either they don't know how to code, they don't have the resources for a data science department, and sometimes they just don't know the right questions to ask, the ones that can be answered with machine learning. So what Isogriv does is we put this all on an easy to use platform, and we really have it as a push product where you get those answers delivered right to your inbox via API, or on the platform you can do your own research and kind of take it to that next step. So these are some real world examples of how our product is used today and some proof of concept that really got us kicked off in July. So we were partnered with a bulge bracket investment bank to put out a prediction that one of our machine learning models had generated on a pharmaceutical company that was undergoing a patent challenge. The patent challenge was, it would be a death knell for the company if they lost the patent challenge. And the report that we generated from pure machine learning said that they were going to lose the patent challenge. This went alongside with bulge bracket sell side research that said the exact opposite. So we were totally out of consensus. We put our report out in August. By September, the patent challenge had lost, and the company lost over 50% of its market cap. So we also do mergers. So we do patents and mergers currently, right? So the emails that we send out for mergers really show you the parts of the documents that impact your odds on a merger going through, on the value of the merger and the risk overall. So again, this is used by both hedge funds and by law firms. Here you see what's delivered right to your inbox. It shows you the pertinent parts of the contract. It also gives you probabilities. Another feature that we offer is tracking comparables for national security risk to mergers under the agency Sabius. This is a product that does not exist in the market, and there's high demand. If you think about the recent block of TikTok by the federal government, there have been many other challenges to mergers. It's a major risk factor. Even Sabius themselves don't have a tool like this where they can look and see the risk based on country for all the past mergers that have been blocked or not blocked. So our market, as we see it, is based off the research budgets at both law firms and hedge funds. We predict that to be about $36.1 billion. It's quite large, but we really see this as a scaling opportunity and a place where we can meet almost all of the machine learning demands for this entire market. So we are really confident in the scalability of this, and we've done this before. So here's our team. I spun off of Reorg Research, that Warburg Pincus portfolio company, where I worked with Travis, who did data science and a lot of data wrangling. Lucia Molina is head of research, and she looks into the problems that we can solve and kind of fits the models to current problems. Ahmed is our CTO. He's both full stack developer as well as running the machine learning projects. So as an example, our technology isn't just fast, it isn't just accessible, it's literally the best available machine learning tools that you can get. So just as an example, a lot of projects use several thousand data points to make a prediction. Our patent predictions alone are based off 756 billion different data points. So this is our projected revenue. This is based off of, again, proven sales in a similar product and our current pipeline. We see it as a very steep growth product because it can scale, and at its core, we can meet different solutions across all of our user bases. So right now we're raising a $3 million seed round. We're projecting to start bringing in our first $100,000 contract this December and significant revenue in Q1. So our seed round will probably start raising here in the end of Q1 once we have that traction to show. And Past that, what we're going to spend the money on is to build out new verticals and really scale the platform so that we can not just go deep on the current solutions, but also scale out and really meet the needs of our client base. If you have any questions, contact myself or Travis Morrow. Our number's here. Feel free to reach out on CrowdWorks or via email, and thank you for your time.
Thanks so much, Nils. And I want to say a big thank you to all of our Class 13 founders. We're really appreciative to have you guys in the program. We look forward to being a part of your future success. And if anyone is interested in connecting with them, as I said before, you can connect with them on Umbrella, or you can connect with them on CrowdWorks. So big round of applause. I know everyone's clapping at home. To all of our Class 13 founders, Cher, Isogriv, Lenme, Sabius, and TRATO. And also want to give a big round of applause to our program sponsors, the people behind the scenes that are making it happen. They provide mentors, they provide speakers, they help with events, and they provide strategic ideas with us, and it really is a partnership. So I want to thank everyone on the screen, as well as our program partners who are also behind the scenes helping us with the curriculum, also providing mentors and providing help with the events as well. And then we also have our international partners. I don't think our program would be what it is if we did not have this international reach and this global program. So I wanted to thank everyone who is on the screen right now for their contribution to the growth of our program. And then also, this is a big one for me because I love our mentor network. Every time I talk to a founder, I ask them, what did you like so much about our program? And they always say our mentor network. And for someone who puts together the curriculum, it's a little disheartening, but it's great to hear that our mentors have such a huge impact on our founders. That's what they come here for. And I'm really excited. We actually have over 700 mentors and advisors where every year, twice a year, they join us to meet our founders, work with our founders, and really go into fun and make an impact. So we can't do it without you guys. Also, up next is one of my favorite segments. We have our Outstanding Mentor Awards. Here are a few of the most recent winners. You just actually heard from Todd Bulow earlier, but we also have this year some fantastic mentors, starting with Davina Dimlin, my apologies, who is just an amazing person all around, very knowledgeable. And also, she actually came here from Belgium right before the pandemic happened, I think in February. So if anyone sees Davina around Charlotte, feel free to take her out for a socially distanced drink or dinner or something, just to show her some Southern hospitality and show her all around Charlotte and see what's so great about this city. I'll actually turn things over to Davina to give her award speech, my apologies.
Hi, thank you, Caitlin, for that warm introduction. Thank you to all the founders and the teams behind the founders to nominate me for this award. It means a lot. I chose moving to Charlotte because of the proximity to fintechs and when I was given the opportunity within the global mobility program of SIA Partners to move to either New York or Charlotte. And working with Queen City FinTech is one of the biggest reasons why I came. It's also the first people I met when I moved to Charlotte. I think I started work on a Monday, and by Wednesday I was at Queen City FinTech meeting Dan, and Nate was there as well, and Caitlin. So I met the entire team 2 days later. So you're the first people I met. And then as well, we love getting engaged with the local community. SIA Partners is all about entrepreneurship. It's one of the core values of our company, and we really want to thank our director locally, Shane Williams, who gives us the opportunity and who affords us the time to work with all of these amazing companies. It's very enriching for us as well. We learn something new in every class and every cohort. So we are very, very happy to be here as well. So thank you, everyone. And if you want to know more about us, visit our booth.
Yes, that's right. Thanks so much, Davina. You guys can check out more about SIA Partners at their booth, also in the Partners tab. Just search for SIA Partners and you'll find them. Up next, we have our next outstanding mentor, who you might have actually seen him before a little bit earlier. It's actually Kevin Odell from Defiance Ventures.
Hello. I wasn't aware that you were going to make me say anything. But no, so thank you so much. It's been such an honor and a pleasure to work with RevTech Labs, work with the startups, starting my career in the startup space. And quite frankly, that early on was more of just luck at landing at the right companies, and they were able to offer so much to my life that it's great to be able to give back those experiences and those ideas. And RevTech Labs does an amazing job of offering a platform for people of all experiences and varieties to be able to come join and get involved. Remember the first company we worked with, we had everyone from technologists to lawyers to bankers that were all providing unique pieces of feedback and contributing to the company. And it was just a great experience. And I'm looking forward to working with the company for many years to come. Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. Sorry for putting you on the spot there, but that was actually a great acceptance speech, very natural. Up next, not only do we like to celebrate our mentors that do a fantastic job of making an impact for their companies, but we also want to take a second to thank the partners and the ones that go above and beyond. And there wasn't one that I could think of that was a better example of a great partner other than Insperity. For some of you guys who don't know, Insperity, they're not just candidate placements, they're actually solution placements. So if anyone is looking to connect with them, you can also find them on the Partners tab on Brella. But with that in mind, I'm actually going to turn it over to Emily Heck, who is the district manager at Insperity, as well as Matt Butler, who is the business performance advisor at Insperity. Matt and Emily, take it away.
Hi, guys. Thanks so much for the mention. Honestly, I really appreciate your friendship and partnership throughout this crazy year. I've been with Insperity for 7 years, but just relocated to lead the Carolinas back in March. Yes, Friday the 13th, March 13th, I moved. And the day that the world shut down. But I wasn't going to let that stop me from really trying to figure out where the entrepreneurial heartbeat of my new city was, and played the new kid card a lot. Hey, who do I need to know? Who do I need to know? Ended up running into Todd Bulow and a lot of other people that the first thing that came out of their mouth when I was looking for entrepreneurial spirit was Dan Roselli and QC FinTech. And I heard it too many times that I reached out to him and was like, Dan, apparently we should know each other and we should know each other well. And in getting to know him, immediately recognized the passion for small business and the entrepreneurial market here in Charlotte and really throughout the country to support those folks that are sticking their necks out and really, the small businesses that end up driving our economy and hiring people and supporting the families behind them. And really sharing in the joy that comes with helping them along and kind of navigating through the tough beginnings and the no man's land that you have to get through as you scale. And then I got to meet Caitlin and Ashley too, and hear about all the programs with RevTech Labs and for incubation and for acceleration and really just taking companies along various stages of growth. So it just became very clear very quickly that needed to personally be involved, but get Insperity involved as well. So if you guys aren't familiar with Insperity, we provide HR support for small to mid-sized companies. We're founded back in '86 by a guy named Paul Servati. So, two guys in 600 square foot room with one phone line, kind of entrepreneur. They had started multiple businesses before this one and kind of looked back on what they did well and what they didn't do well and came up with this laundry list that's kind of the minutia and the tough stuff of the business of being in business, and realized that if they were having trouble with it, that other business owners were too. And hence, if you're familiar with the acronym, that was when the PEO industry was born, Professional Employer Organization. To really kind of partner alongside small to mid-sized companies and help them grow. We want to, mitigate risk, offload some of that admin duties that shouldn't be taking up your time. See if we can contain some costs. We're actually really good at getting big company benefits and health insurance without breaking the bank. And overall, we just excited to help focus on your people and get the right people in the right jobs fired up to be there and wanting to come to work every day. So, you know, in our desire to help businesses, the communities around us prosper, it just was natural to partner with QC FinTech and the conferences like Venture 135. So thanks for bringing us along on your journey.
Thanks so much, Emily. And we really enjoyed working with Insperity, and I'm sure everyone else will too. So if you're interested in speaking with them, feel free to find them on the Partners tab on Umbrella. And I'll turn things over to Dan.
Well, that's great. Caitlin, wonderful job. Hopefully virtual round of applause on the chat and everywhere else. Caitlin does a fantastic job as our program manager on the class, and I'm sure everyone in the class would agree with that as well. I thought this year's class 13 done virtually, done through COVID and the environment, just great stuff for the benefit of the founders. And thank you to all the mentors and sponsors and program partners who have been involved. We think it was just a fantastic class, and it was great to see it all come together. Applications are open for class 14, as you can see on the screen here, which is great. This is a nonstop treadmill we're on here at RevTech Lab. So it feels like we're running marathon after marathon. So even as we have great success here with class 13, sending them on their way, continuing to support them over time, we're in the beginnings of recruiting class 14. So we could really use your help on spreading the word, getting companies to apply, use social media to help with that. When you see as a RevTech Labs, tweet or post on stuff on LinkedIn, would love to get your support to broaden that scope. We really can't do this without you, all the way from recruiting to the selecting to the mentoring. It does take a village. It takes a whole community and then some. And so we really would ask for your help on that. Let me just wrap up for the day too, because this is the end of our formal first day. Just wow, what a first day, right? You know, didn't know how we were going to be able to pull off a huge venture conference in a virtual environment. Ashley, whose name you've heard a couple times today, and the whole RevTech Labs team have just done a fantastic job. I think we can claim success on day one. A fantastic panel conversation, 3 different pitch parties on regional, local companies, the demo day for class 13 of RevTech Labs. It was just absolutely fantastic. And we're not even close to done. As I mentioned, we have a whole week of activities lined up. Tomorrow is our FinTech Day, almost 30 FinTech companies presenting from around the world with an international segment, traditionally underrepresented founder segment, a panel discussion on how culture impacts VC and VC investing, which we think will be fascinating for everyone. And then on Wednesday, Eric Qualman, one of our keynote speakers on digital leadership. Like I said, one of a best-selling author come in to talk to us about leadership in this digital world and how that makes that happen. And our InsurTech Day then following up on Wednesday, Health Tech Day on Thursday, and then of course the Deal Day and the award ceremony on Friday. So hope you will join us kind of all week long as we go. A couple other logistics reminders. Don't forget to go to the booth. Every visit you do to a sponsor booth or company booth enters you into a drawing, one for each visit, for the new MacBook Air that we're going to give away to one lucky recipient as an incentive to try and get you to go to those booths. You can find those on the partner tab. SIA Partners also has an incentive for a $500 Apple gift card. So it's a nice incentive to go visit their booth. So I don't know why you wouldn't take half a second to go there, see what they're doing, connect with that SIA Partners team, which is great, but do that with all the partners and sponsors as well. We know that virtual environments are hard and everyone is looking at that engagement factor. And so as attendees, you can help us out by going and engaging with our partners who were good enough to step forward even in a virtual environment and make this event happen. So please pay that forward and take a moment to go talk to all of them. As mentioned many times, you can connect with the founders via their umbrella booth under that partner tab, and then also on CrowdWorks, which is the more in-depth deal network. Well, there's a lot of logistics to go over, so we'll continue emphasizing that. So sorry if we sound like a broken record, but we want to make sure everyone participates, engages, and gets the most out of this conference. This will be the wrap for today on day one, and we're going to see you all tomorrow. So thank you all for attending. Fantastic first day. Thanks for all the support.